What happens when love for one's nation crosses the boundary into ultranationalism? What dangers lurk in the shadows of this extreme form of patriotism? Begin by considering xenophobia and racism. Ultranationalism often gives rise to a divisive us versus them mentality. This mindset can foster discrimination against those perceived as different or foreign. Minority groups, immigrants, or anyone deemed an outsider may face prejudice, exclusion, and even violence. A society thus divided is a society weakened at its core. Second, consider the aggressive foreign policy potential. Governments influenced by ultranationalist ideologies may adopt confrontational stances, leading to conflicts with other nations. This can endanger global stability, as diplomatic solutions are sidelined in favor of force. The world becomes a stage for power plays, rather than a community of nations working towards common goals. Thirdly, consider the issue of suppressing dissent. Ultranationalist regimes may quash opposition in the name of protecting national interests. This can lead to human rights violations, as freedom of speech and expression are curtailed. The populace is silenced, and the nation's progress is stunted. Fourthly, consider economic isolation. Extreme nationalism can give rise to protectionist policies, trade barriers, and a turn towards isolationism. Though intended to protect the nation's economy, these measures can in fact cause long-term harm. The country may find itself cut off from global markets, with its economic growth stunted. Fifthly, think about cultural stagnation. An overwhelming focus on nationalistic ideals can stifle cultural diversity and creativity. This can lead to a lack of openness to new ideas and influences, and a stagnation of the nation's cultural evolution. The nation becomes a monolith rather than a mosaic of cultures. Lastly, reflect on the fueling of extremism. Ultranationalism can provide fertile ground for extremist ideologies and radical groups. This can pose security threats both domestically and internationally. The nation becomes a hotbed for extremism rather than a beacon of peace and stability. In conclusion, ultranationalism can create a divisive and potentially dangerous environment. It hinders social progress, stifles international cooperation, and tramples upon individual freedoms. This extreme form of patriotism, rather than strengthening a nation, can instead lead to its downfall. To love one's nation is commendable. To elevate it above all else without regard for the consequences is a dangerous path to tread.